Welcome to V's Walk Like You Talk TV. I am your host, V. Make sure that you share, subscribe, and share, please. That's probably the most important thing I can ask from anyone at this point. So please share with your Facebook, your whatever, Instagram, TikToks, whatever. Okay. So I've been talking about, I've talked about Lazarus a while back. And I want to talk about why we don't, why is it so easy for us to say how much we trust God, but then yet we be so conditioned to our regular everyday climate that it looks like we don't. And what I mean by that is that, in the story of Lazarus, when Jesus had finally got to the land, because he had told him he was going to be there in a couple days, and now Lazarus is dead. They've buried him in the tomb and all those things. And Mary was upset, so when Jesus got there, she didn't even go see him. Like, Martha came out and seen him. But to give you the example of what I'm talking about, when Mary came out and talked to Jesus and was like, hey, if you just would have came, he would have been cool. Like, Lazarus would have been cool. And, Jesus literally told her, look, Mary, Lazarus is going to rise tonight. It's going to be for the fact that, God gets, the glory in a situation, and really, that everyone believes in the Son of Man when this happens. So it's actually used as, more of a, this may be the wrong word, but more of a learning tool than anything. And he asked Mary, he says, do you believe? Do you believe what I'm saying? And Mary was like, well, first she said, when he had made that response about he was going to rise that night, she was like, well, I know that he will rise, on the last day. I know that. And, clearly that's not what Jesus was talking about. And, deep in my heart, I think she knew that too. And, he's like, no, he's going to rise tonight. Like, tonight. Like, when you say tonight, it's like, okay, tonight. So that means, okay, Mary knew, because it's like, okay, so what? Like, what? Everything's going down tonight? Like, the end is now? I don't think she thought that. So he asked her, he said, do you believe? And she said, yes. And she said it so, and I get it. Like, if you're talking to, the Messiah, the person that you believe that is God in the flesh. I mean, you're more than likely, when you're asked a question like that from God, you're not going to say, well, no, I don't believe it. You're going to say yes. Like, it's going to be like a natural response is yes, but, the reason why I say that is because, I'm going to come back to this piece, but going forward, they literally later all went to the tomb, and Jesus told them to open it. And she was like, almost like trying to stop him. Like, man, you can't do that. He been in there for 4 days. Like, it's going to be so rotten. Like, and he was like, didn't I tell you? Like, Mary, didn't I just tell you to chill, that he's coming back tonight? Which she should have known. She should have known with the time that he said, open the tomb. She should have knew it was on. But your mind goes right back to that natural state that quick. It's like it's that easy. And going backwards now, to Martha. So Martha finally came out, and the crowd behind Martha, and everybody was weeping and sad. And it was so sad to the point where Jesus started to weep. And Jesus wept because, he knew that he was going to come there late. He knew he was going to be there days later. He knew that Lazarus was going to be dead. He even told the disciples, hey, we're going to go there, but, Lazarus asleep. And they didn't think like dead until he had to explain it to them. So like Jesus, his love is so strong that he seen that pain on Martha, you know, with her losing her brother. And the people, like I said, that came with her, they were all, weeping as well. And he seen and probably felt all that pain. And his like spirit was like in anguish, like in like just saddened. And he felt that and he wept, and that's when he was kind of like, well, let me go do this this act. Let me go bring him back and let me show them. So, let me show them the glory of God, you know. But, once again, my point to make is that, we say how much we really trust God, how much we really believe God. And then, like, in a split hair of a second, we go right back to the way we were thinking. And I'm not like trying to blame anyone. I'm using them, us, all of us, as examples because it happens. And I don't think that sometimes, I'm not trying to make excuses for it. I know it could seem like it's a normal thing, but yet at the same time, I always talk about, learn, unlearn, and relearn. And these are some of them situations where it's like, okay, let's catch on to what we're doing. Let's catch on to our behaviors and habits, and let's really deal with it. Like, let's practice dealing with it so that we don't continue to do the same things over and over that has effect on us that we know is not healthy in a sense. So, I just think that those are some things, that we need to be aware of, and then those things of how we can deal with them. It always takes practice. Everything is going to take practice to achieve the purpose that we need to get to. So, anyhow, thank you guys for listening. I hope this, helps someone. Like I said, please share, subscribe, share, subscribe, share, subscribe. That's like the biggest thing that I need at this particular time. If you feel generous, if you want to help out, my Cash App is VCHH Playlist. All right. Thank you guys very much. God bless you. Have a beautiful day. In Jesus' mighty name. Amen.